Hey, assertive voice. Do you have one? Probably not. That's why you're here. Let's talk about it. We all want kids in our classroom to actually listen to what we're telling them to do, right? Wouldn't that be lovely? Probably in your home and other parts of your life too. So, assertiveness is clear communication that tells the other person exactly what to do. It's key in setting limits and boundaries, right? If we want to make rules and set limits and boundaries in our classroom, in our life, we need to be able to communicate those in an assertive way. The power of attention is crucial here, right? The powers are for us, and the power of attention helps me be able to focus on what I want to communicate, on what I want to happen. The power of attention says what we focus on, we get more of. When I am triggered by a behavior and I drop into those lower brain states, I am just focused on the problem, right? And when I'm only focused on the problem, I'm never focused on the solution. We say we want help. Can you help me? Can you tell me? Just tell me what to do. I'll do anything. Oh, well, I've already tried that. Nope, that doesn't work, right? That is our emotional state. Our emotional state is saying, like, I can't really take this right now. This requires us, just like everything else, to take a breath, take 3 breaths, take even more, so that I can find my own composure, so I can make a decision that I'm going to focus on what I want to see. And then I can be open to a solution and trying new things. Children under 7, that's not a hard, fast 7 for sure, can be older than that. When they don't have inner speech yet, there isn't a conversation going in there, right? I can't count how many times I've heard teachers, therapists, parents refer to young children as being manipulative, or they know better, or there's no conversation, inner thought happening that's making them decide that they just want to torture you today or hurt other people. It's simply not. It's science. That's brain research. So they see in pictures. That's the takeaway here, is that they see in pictures. So we need to provide a clear picture of what we want to see, right? We say, please don't run, right? What picture does that conjure up for a child? Run. That's the only thing that makes sense in that sentence. We say, please don't run, and they run, right? When we say, walk to the door, because what we think we want them to just stop, right? That's emotional state, is stop. When we can take some breaths and get into that frontal lobe, we can really focus on what we want to see, which is safe walking feet. And we can provide a clear command, which is walk to the door. They have a picture for walking to the door, and then it is more likely to happen. We need to take that flashlight and shine it on what we want to see. Less time spent on what we don't want to see, more time spent on what we do want. So let's watch my itty bitty Grayson. The couch and the blinds have changed, and thank goodness, so has how I would handle this now. But we only know what we know. We can only do our best until we have new information. See what you think the problem is here.
Don't jump.
He just said jump. He's on the dog steps.
Can you say hi, Daddy? Can you say hi, Daddy? Don't jump. Don't. Well, I said don't jump.
Yeah, I was the problem in that situation. I didn't provide any clear communication. I also didn't use an assertive voice. You'll see that in a second here. I didn't provide any usable information, which would have been walk down the steps, hold my hand while you walk down the steps so that you are safe. Sit on the step. I mean, I could go on and on about the different ways that I could have done that. And then, did you love that? See, that's why anyway, let's talk about David. So if you've ever seen the No David book, it's a book full of David doing things that his grown-up doesn't want him to do, and then them not providing any usable information to get the behavior to change. So look at this picture. The grown-up is just saying, no, David. What does the grown-up want David to do? Ask for help, put his feet on the floor, right? How about here? Stop that this instant. Go get a tissue, right? How about this? No, David, no. David, stop on the carpet so that we can take your muddy clothes off. David, stay on the porch until we can get your muddy clothes off. David, walk back to the walk back to the door so that we can get your muddy clothes off. What we need to do is take our highlighter and highlight all of the things that we want to see in our classroom. The beauty of this is that when you start highlighting what you want to see, imagine studying for a test and taking your highlighter in your notes or your book and only highlighting the things that you don't need to study for the test. That's ridiculous, right? Yes. Okay. So this is what we need to do in our classroom. We need to highlight all of the things we want to see. And then the beauty of this is, man, are you going to see these things happen all the time, right? Think about that biter that bit 5 times yesterday. And those 5 bites each lasted for 2 seconds. And so the 4 minutes of my day it took to deal with these 5 bites, I missed the 6 hours and 52 minutes that kid didn't bite anyone, right? We still need to do something about the biting, but if I can focus on what I want, and when I do that, I'm going to see all of these amazing times that this kid actually is doing exactly what I need them to do. When I notice, right? When I notice the good or the bad, I am putting every pair of eyes in that classroom, every pair of eyes that comes into that classroom on that behavior that I don't want to see. What I really want to do is, like, in bright lights, put up there, this kid, Marion, he dumps out his toys all the time. When it's time to clean up, he's always somewhere else. But right now, did you see that? Marion, you did it. You picked up the ball and you put it in the bag when it was time to clean up. Way to go, right? And leave off this is what you need to do all the time. See, if you just do this all the time, this is what we want Marion to do. So we're going to notice that he did it. And then we're going to say, hey, you did it. Good for you. What we say is important. Focusing on what we want them to do is crucial. So is how we communicate it. And this is where assertive voice comes in. So we might find that assertive command of what we want to happen when we use a passive voice, which is probably what most of us are doing right now, is using a passive voice. We give away our power. This is us so often, like, avoiding upset and conflict through, like, being nice, right? Look how nice I am. I provided no information. Here's what it sounds like. Try your best to clean up. It's time to clean up, okay? All right, come on, friends. It's time to clean up. Where should you be? When you're ready, I'll start. Don't make me take that paper away. Don't make me take that away, right? You're in control. Don't make me do it, right? When we don't provide usable information, nothing can change. Check this out.
Stop.
If the goal was to get the baby to stop peeling the thing off the wall, we have provided no usable information or modeling for this child. So often we start with this passive voice, and then before we know it, aggressive comes out because it doesn't work for us. And now we're really frustrated. We're really triggered that this child's not listening. So now I am taking all control, right? I'm not giving my power away with my passive voice. I'm taking your power. I'm in control now. This is my show, right? And then that's scary, right? Still not providing usable information, still can be pretty scary, right? Nobody wants their power taken away from them. And imagine a boss that you've had in the past that might have been passive, didn't hold people accountable for things. People get away with things. Or aggressive in that I have all the power. You do as I say. Do it or else, right? How safe does it feel to work for somebody like that? Or even if a partner in the home that's like that, it doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel good. It is no different for the kids in your classroom. We want someone that is in charge to be in charge. Right? We want them to be able to make fair decisions. We want to feel like they've got it together and they know what they're doing. Your children want exactly the same from you. We think they just want us to go away and let them do whatever they want. That is not true. They want us to be in charge in the right way, right? So this can sound like you always do this. Every time we get out toys, you won't clean them up. You always do this. Put those away now. You're going to miss the gym. Everybody's lining up. I'm not telling you again to go sit down. Go sit down, or your lunch is in the garbage. Well, we don't get to read our story now. That's it. That paper is mine, right? Stop running and go sit down. Aggressive. Look at David with his caregiver, with their aggressive, passive commands that gave no real information. And this is it. I mean, this is the whole thing right here. David ends up tears streaming down his face, facing the wall in the corner because his grown-up didn't provide him with clear limits and boundaries in an assertive voice. So assertive voice is the voice of no doubt. It is a fact. It is no question. There's no question about what I want you to do. I am owning it. I am clear about what I want. I understand what I want, and now I want you to do this too. So I'm going to provide usable information about what to do. And that sounds like this. Pick up the truck and place it in the box. Sit down in your chair. Turn around and put your hands in your lap. Walk your paper to my desk and set it down. Walk like this to the table, right? So practice these. Either pause, you can do it if there's someone else there with you, or just do them with me. Passive sounds like, it's time to clean up, okay? Clean up right now. Put the blocks in the basket. Which one feels better? How would you want someone to tell you what to do? Right? Which one feels better? So here's how we practice our assertive voice. Again, we figure out what we want them to do, and it's not stop, right? So if you're thinking like stop running, stop throwing, pause, go back. What do you want them to do? The grass is green. The sky is blue. Sarah, walk like this. Do that with me. The grass is green. The sky is blue. Sarah, walk like this. The grass is green. The sky is blue. Pick up the trash and put it in the can. So here's what we're doing. We are going to name, verb, paint our assertive commands. So step one, what do we want them to do? What are we highlighting, right? What's important to us? And then we're going to say their name and make eye contact. I'm going to be clear about who I'm saying this to. Then I'm going to give an action, right? What's the action I want them to take in as little words as humanly possible? We are over talkers, so much so. And years and years ago, I've been here for 28 years, in early childhood for 28 years. And I promise you, the way that we talked to kids 28 years ago has not changed a single bit. And now we're talking to them today, right? And so this is our opportunity to do things a little different, to just kind of bring it forward a little bit and learn something new. But to my point, talking a lot, back in the day, we were taught like you need to explain, you need to tell them what you want them to do and why you want them to do it. And so now we talk so much, and what we really want gets so lost in that message. So just what's the shortest possible way you can say, pick up the trash. And then we're going to paint a picture of what we want them to do using gestures, visual cues, maybe even sometimes an actual visual. But for walking, then I'm going to say, Sam, walk like this. That's it. You need to use your walking feet. You guys know you need to use your walking feet. You're going to fall and then you're going to get hurt stop running. I've said this a million times. Sam, walk just like this. Okay, let's practice. John, when you want your sister's attention, touch her like this. That's it. John, when you want your friend's attention, put your hand on their shoulder just like this. Sue, pick up the puzzle pieces and put them in the box like this. Sue, pick up the puzzle pieces, put them in the box just like this. Our body language, our facial expression, our tone of voice is really where that assertive command, focusing on what we want them to do, gets all muddled up when we use this different voice, right? So Sam, put your feet on the floor like this is very different if I say, Sam, please put your feet on the floor like this, right? That please is a problem. We're going to talk about that in a second. Or if I say, Sam, put your feet on the floor. Right? So the assertive command, the words are not enough. Our tone, our facial expression, and body language all contribute to our assertiveness. Here's a few more assertive phrases to use. It's time to put your jacket on. It's important to push your chair in so that everybody's safe, I would add. I'll help you get started, right? Pick up the blocks and put them in the basket. I'll help you get started. Please and thank you. This is tough. You're not going to like this. Please and thank you. They're for favors. They're not for assertive commands, right? Of the many things that might have gotten drilled into us when we were young, and we might be doing that to kids now, is please and thank you, right? Raise your hand if you've ever heard a kid want more milk to drink at their lunch, and they're not allowed to get it until they say please to the adult, right? I mean, we can model good manners, but please and thank you are not for assertive commands. When you say, can you please clean up the blocks? You are providing a choice. Can you please clean up the blocks? Can you please sit down in your chair? Can you please stop talking while I'm reading? Can you please raise your hand? Can you please? That's not the place for manners. Assertive commands can feel really rude to passive voices. If we often have a passive voice, assertive voice can feel really rude. We might try to sneak a please in there. Save it. Pleases are for favors. Can you please go get that book for me? Thank you. That was so helpful, right? So pack those away. Lots of other times you can use manners and model manners instead of demanding manners, and it'll go better for everybody. So last but not least, remember, this is frontal lobe. In our frontal lobe, this is what can I learn? This is where I have the ability to use my assertive voice. It's also where I need the kids to be to follow my assertive command. Get that? So I need to provide safety and connection first, right? If I really, truly am practicing and using my assertive voice and this kid still isn't complying, asking what I want, I'm going to roll right back to connection. Does this kid feel safe, truly safe with me? Am I truly using an assertive voice? Check in, make sure it's not aggressive, and connection, because connection creates willingness. If I want this child to be willing to listen to my assertive commands, then there needs to be a relationship. We need to be connected. So take some time, jot down the things that are happening in your classroom that you wish would stop, and write yourself out some assertive name, verb, paint commands. Be ready for the next time that it happens, because sometimes it's hard to come up with them right in that moment. So do it and then practice it. The grass is green, the sky is blue. So write them out, practice it. You're going to oops when you go back into your classroom, and that's okay. When you give the passive or aggressive voice, when you forget the assertive command and you say, don't do this, just follow it right up with, oh, What I meant to say was, it's time to clean up. Put your blocks in the basket. You did it. You've got this.